said Snoop kicked him out, then he came to the hospital. Snoop never came to the hospital, period. He full of I look at it like this.
And then what's this book they say you wrote?
Yeah, I did. After that dude did that, I didn't breach that contract. He did.
Keefe D put the shooting on Orlando first because Dre and Orlando was living. When they got to Keefe D, Dre was dead.
Almost 30 years after legendary West Coast rapper Tupac Shakur's death, his alleged murderer is finally going on trial. And this time, his best friend Suge Knight wants to put an end to it and lay his friend to rest in peace, for good. Let's go back to 2 years ago when the Diddy scandal first broke out. By then, Suge Knight was already in jail, but he picked himself back up and talked about the Diddy situation and how he felt about the events following Tupac's death.
They come here and laughingly go, we'll make it $25 million. I don't know how many people in here, maybe Judge Fiddler has that much money, but we don't, Judge. $25 million. $25 million. We're taking him to the hospital now, and the problem is still the blood clots to the lung, but it's really not being treated for the diabetes. You know, and it's just, I don't know why he hasn't been. I hope that they will, but there's nothing I can do about it. And there were no orders made by the court.
Before discussing the many different claims about what happened, we'll start with what Suge has said. Suge, the founder of Death Row Records, was the main player in the West Coast and rival to Diddy's East Coast established Bad Boy Records. And on Suge's camp were rap heavyweights like Snoop Dogg and later Tupac, who became his best-selling artist and best friend. In 2024, Suge said Snoop had not done right by their friend.
Only way you have a radio if you was at the fight with us and you had a security detail. Now, not having a security detail, what are you doing with the radio? Two, we always go to the fight together. We always go to the club together. Even when they did that half-ass watered-down movie on Pac, and he said, you gonna be at the fight? And all that type of shit. So then all of a sudden, Warren says on the thing where they listened to the radio and they hear the gunshots. And basically somebody told them we got them or they got shot or all this shit. So how would you know that and why would you have a play-by-play on the radio?
I kicked everybody out. Get the fuck out of here, everybody, get out of here. And then he took off. That's when he went to Vegas to go see him. And that's when he went out there and when he went to the hospital. If I wouldn't have talked to him and got him to come over to my house, he probably would have been right there in the car with them.
He said Snoop kicked him out, then he came to the hospital. Snoop never came to the hospital, period.
Now, Suge wasn't the only person who called Snoop out. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, went after him for trying to be Biggie Smalls' friend behind Tupac's back. This is during a time when Tupac put Snoop on his album and supported him in whatever way possible. Suge even spent thousands trying to keep him out of jail back in the day.
That would have sent probably Snoop to jail. It came up missing. Suge paid a lot of money for that to happen. Snoop knows that. Physical evidence came up missing. And Big said to D-Rock, yo, Snoop keep trying to call me and ask me where I'm at, what we doing, and what we gonna do this and do this, stuff like that. He said, leaving messages. He said, I'm not answering the phone. I'm not telling them where I'm at. So Snoop was going behind their back then, trying to get in good with Big them, or he was trying to set Big up, I don't know. So if Suge is saying he a snake, I guess he keep his grass cut low. Cause he was definitely trying to snake Big. That's what Big felt. He never called him back. He never got with him.
The next point he discussed on Collect Call was one that many others have brought up, that when Tupac died, you could tell that Suge was actually disturbed. He went downhill and never took advantage of his greatest artist's death. This is in steep contrast to Bad Boy's Diddy. He also called Snoop Dogg out for doing a song with one of the people who was in the same car as Pac's killer.
And everybody know this. Street know this. I was locked up. But Snoop, Daz, and the rest of them, they did a song with one of the niggas from that side who was in the car. If that's Louis the Pac, shit, motherfuckers don't need that type of loyalty. If you don't want a motherfucker all on your motherfucking videos, they could have came to death row, that would have happened. Because at the end of the day, That motherfucker was all in the motherfucking video still today. And he benefited when Biggie wasn't here, because if Biggie wasn't here, he wouldn't be rapping. Once Biggie wasn't here, that motherfucker started rapping. When Pac left, I didn't pick up a microphone. I picked up the pieces. Then when you really look at it, I look at it like this. What Puffy done, what Puffy did, and what Puffy do is not a surprise. Everybody know what it is.
Former Jay-Z collaborator Jaguar Wright also pointed out the glaring fact that Diddy benefited more from Biggie's death than he even did alive.
Puffy has been making money off of Biggie's name for longer than Biggie was alive. People keep forgetting he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was still 24 when he died. It's been over 25 years. Fucking Puffy has been making money on that boy's name longer than he lived. It supported all of Bad Boy. His catalog. Clearly, a Biggie Smalls verse is very valuable. Am I wrong? Does anybody disagree with me?
No, that's facts.
So then what the fuck happened to the commission? What happened to that album?
Right.
It was recorded. It was being mixed and mastered upon Biggie's death.
Now, Suge Knight has gone live with TMZ to talk about Keefe D's trial. He openly called out Keefe D and said it's time for him to face the music.
He's full of I look at it like this. It's not about picking on Keefe D, but at the same time, most of his situations, I know he did it to himself. I knew his lawyer. His lawyer was a friend of mine. And I knew about him having immunity and doing that deal a long time ago. But the crazy thing about it, he already told on himself. He should deal with a situation where make it best for everybody. Put it in a situation where there's a lot of people who participated and a lot of people who they don't talk about. I knew back in the day named SKG. She was black, Asian, about 5'6", 115 pounds. Now somebody else saying they SKG. And they deal with a person that deals with Keefe D. They deal with a person who hated Tupac. All these people were saying the most horrible things about Tupac that you possibly can say about a man. And it was all lies. Now they want to act like they're going to report what's going on. But these guys is in Keefe D's camp, who tried to bail him out and help him.
This comes a few hours before Keefe D admitted that he wrote the book about his role in Tupac's murder, despite previously trying to deny it by saying he used a ghostwriter.
And then what's this book they say you wrote?
Yeah, I did. After that dude did that, I didn't breach that contract. He did.
Now, what's hateful is that despite Keefe now trying to backtrack on his own claims that he was responsible for the iconic rapper's death, just a few years ago, he was giving interviews about how he overall felt Tupac had to go.
I know that pain too well. However, I stand firm on the point that Tupac, Suge Knight, and the rest of those dudes didn't have any business putting their hands on my beloved nephew, Baby Lane, period. Then jumping on my nephew gave us the ultimate green light to do something to their ass.
Exactly.
So you have a sense of remorse for what happened to Tupac?
Yeah. I got a sense of remorse that happened to any brother. You know what I'm saying? We should stop all this bullshit with each other, black on black crimes. It's bullshit. We need to wake up our whole community.
Keefe implied that Diddy had also already put a hit out on Tupac, but the shooting at the time caught them unaware and hadn't been ordered by Diddy at that exact moment.
And I guess you said that Puffy called and said, "Was that us?" And you didn't say nothing.
I didn't say nothing. Yeah, you're right.
There's also, you go into the book, that apparently there was supposed to be $1 million that Zip was supposed to bring back, but he ended up keeping the money and buying a nightclub with it.
That's what the FBI said. It seemed like Puff do that though. He seemed like every time some bad shit go around here, it look like it's some shit on the grass. He don't step around that shit. He get away from that bullshit.
On the other hand, Gene Deal said that Keefe D liked to make things up and things went down differently. Gene is one of the few people left alive from that era, even if he was from Camp Bad Boy and was closer to Biggie.
So we heard what Greg Kading needed Keefe D to say. You understand? In order for him to get out of his situation in California. You understand? We're going to bring Eric Von Zip into this by saying he gave you a gun. Anybody know who deal with bosses? Keefe D ain't carrying no gun because he a boss. What do we have? He got holsters. That's dude who carry guns for him. You know what I'm saying? Zip is a boss. What do Zip have? Zip got holsters. He got dudes that carry guns for him. You understand?
Gene said that a lot of Keefe D's first arrest had to do with getting a plea deal to take down a specific set of people and attach Diddy's name to the issue, rather than telling the actual truth about what went down.
But they had to put Zip in a situation where it looks like he gave Keefe D a gun because his connection is to Puffy. And what does Zip say? What did Greg Kading say or Keefe D say that Zip said? This is the perfect time now. This is the perfect time now. If you're looking to get somebody and you got a hit or somebody paying you $1 million to hit somebody, anytime you see this is a perfect time. Am I right or am I wrong? I don't believe. I've been around Zip plenty of times. Zip ain't have a gun on him when the 17-year-old kid shot him in the stomach. If Zip was a gun carrier, and he's in front of his club. Zip was never known for carrying a gun.
He painted the perfect story that matched all Keefe D had tried to do over the years, pointing out how Keefe D had been following a script to ensure certain people stayed safe and only started pointing fingers after they were dead.
If was the other young gentleman from the outlaw sect, they saw a big black arm come out the window, it was only one big black person in the back of that car, according to Keefe D. Big Dre.
So why do you think Keefe D is lying and putting the blame on, Orlando instead of Big Dre? Because they both dead. So, does it really matter?
Who did he put the shooting on first, brother? Keefe D put the shooting on Orlando first because Dre and Orlando was living. When they got to Keefe D, Dre was dead. Had Dre still been alive and Keefe D went under that thing, do you think Keefe D would have said Dre, if Orlando was alive, do you think Keefe D would have said Orlando did it? He wouldn't have said that. That's his nephew, that's his family. He wouldn't have went out like that. He put it on the dead man. Dre died after Orlando.
Suge also revealed that Keefe D had approached him to tell him about the $1 million hit Diddy had put on Tupac, and he had taken it because he needed the money.
I need the money. Puffy and them supposed to gave me $1 million. They gave us most of the money, or half of the money, and that's how everything unraveled for is what happened in Vegas. At that time, I'm on parole. I look to the left, look to the right. The whole place is packed. So I'm like, I had to go take the piss. Let's have this conversation in the restroom. He was like, man, I ain't going in that restroom with you. And good thing he didn't, because even though we was friends, but if a motherfucker pays you to kill us, I got a bullet into my skull. And one of the best friends I had ever had in life is Pac. And he ain't here. I'm gonna beat the fuck out that nigga in that restaurant.
Meanwhile, now that Keefe D has to stand trial, he's pulling for whoever he can, even people he never named before. He's also now claiming that Diddy had nothing to do with Tupac's murder, even though he previously asserted that his $1 million hit is what got the rapper killed.
Police is out there in our area. Reggie Wright, all he did was lie at night. Another manager took the boy, took his chain. Don't bring your guns. It's just, I get a lot of stuff from PIs, private investigators, and all the fingers and evidence point to Reggie Wright Jr. And he brought up my name from day one.
Did you have anything to do with the murder of Tupac Shakur?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I wasn't even in Nevada. I wasn't in Nevada, period.
Now his story has totally changed, and you heard me ask there, did anyone around you say, maybe it's not a good idea to say you had something to do with this? And he's saying, look, they said I was covered. It seems like perhaps he didn't really think about what could be consequences. You know, now he's been in jail. He was even in prison for several years here in Nevada. His life is totally changed. He has a grown son. He has grandkids. He was living his life in Henderson, Nevada. And now, you know, he's facing these serious consequences, Nicole.
For now, Keefe D is sticking to his new story, saying he had no reason to kill Tupac Shakur because he was in Camp Death Row. So why would he take out their biggest moneymaker?
I helped Suge Knight get that record company together, you know what I'm saying? And why would I kill the guy that's making us the most money? You know what I'm saying? He, that's a rapper. Back then, why would I kill our money like that? It don't make sense. Suge Knight will tell you that I didn't do it.
We'll end with a chilling story from Gene Deal, revealing Diddy's line amidst the string of murders that left the rap world shaken forever.
I heard Puff say, I don't give a fuck if Pac gotta die. I don't give a fuck if Big gotta die. Suge Knight can go to jail. I'ma say this for the umpteenth time. That was a self-fulfilling prophecy that this demon got from some other demons because it happened exactly what he said. What he said happened exactly the way it came out of his mouth. Pac died, Big died, Suge Knight went to jail.
Yes, he mentioned his biggest artist and best friend, the notorious B.I.G. What do you think?
He said, I'm a businessman. I'm about making money, but something gotta change. I don't give a fuck if Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail. Something's gotta change. And he took upstairs, he turned around and walked back upstairs. And it didn't dawn on me what he said. And then my man looked at me and Bun was like, yo, that nigga said Big. I said, yo, he sure did. He said, yeah. He said, Big gotta die? He said, yo, he said Big.
Will Tupac finally be able to rest in peace? Or will his close friends have to see his name dragged through the mud over conspiracies for decades to come? Let us know in the comments if you want a play-by-play of the exact alleged events during the Tupac shooting. If you want to learn more, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.